Sean Strickland and Luke Rockhold. So apparently, Sean obviously is very verbal and says crazy stuff. Had a great fight against Hall. So, I mean, he's obviously a good fighter. He made the rankings. I think he's like ranked 8th in the world right now. Luke's coming in, and I guess Luke called him an idiot, and he got all mad. And now, after saying, if it's true, what I read, that he would like to kill somebody in the octagon, which is a crazy thing to say for someone. And I'm not saying nothing bad about Sean Strickland. I think he says crazy stuff sometimes. But after saying that, now he's attacking Luke for calling him an idiot and saying basically he'll take a charge to hit him on the street and bounce his head off the pavement and all that. So what's your thoughts on that? Like, first of all, like, I think you said, I think previously when we talked that maybe the fight's happening. They're definitely trying to put it together for sure. What do you think about the fight happening? I mean, forget the whole street thing because that's not going to happen. And if it does,
Yeah, I read that it's going to happen. I think 267 in November in Madison Square Garden. I think that's what I read. But listen, nothing is for sure until it comes out on the UFC side. Until the UFC announces it, there's no fight.
Right.
These MMA sites, they post, oh, this fight's going to happen, that fight's going to happen. All of a sudden, you're thinking this fight's going to happen, but maybe they're in talks, maybe they're in negotiations. But until negotiations come through, there's no fight.
Right.
So the fact that these two guys are yapping at each other, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's definitely a fact because we see that, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that there's a fight until the UFC announces there's a fight, there's no fight. There's no fight. I don't care. This camp says, oh, we signed. It doesn't matter. Until they announce it, that means both people signed. There's no fight. I've been involved way too long to listen and believe everything that the news sites may say. No, let the UFC make the decision. Then you guys can come on board and say this. We can talk about the potential of what those guys are doing. I did read the comments that Strickland made, and I've never in my life, in all the years I've been alive, have I heard somebody actually say those words. I would like to kill somebody in the ring, and it appeared, by the way I read it, it appeared that he meant it.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's true, but if that was true, then you know what? I don't think very high of that person for saying that, because there's a bunch of kids watching.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to be like you. And you got to understand, when I was a kid, I'd hear things like, with Muhammad Ali, like a butterfly, sting like a bee, la, 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 la. And that was a cool saying. So we as kids would go out there and say that, right?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden you talk about killing somebody in the ring. Then all of a sudden now these kids are in middle school, elementary, high school, and they're talking about, yeah, man, I can't wait to kill somebody in the ring. Dude, what kind of message are you sending, man? What kind of message are you sending? I'm sorry you feel that, but you know what? Also, the networks for actually allowing the words to come out, I don't know, man. They should have bleeped it. If you bleep, the cussing, why do you bleep that?
What makes the organization look bad too. The organization shouldn't have fighters talking about wanting to kill people. Like, what does that say about the organization, right?
That's a conduct.
Should have been monitored.
That's a reprimand. The conduct, because as a fighter, all organizations have you sound a moral conduct situation.
Right. He probably did. It's probably in his contract.
He had that signed.
For sure he did. Yeah.
They can get rid of him for stuff like that.
Yeah, they're just letting it go.
Like that, they can get rid of you for that. So you can't act like that. You cannot, And he did apparently, I also did look at his Instagram because we were going to talk about him. I did see how he said he was going to go up to Luke and slap him, and okay, that's cool. I mean, that part to me, it's whatever.
Shit
you guys got beef.
Yeah.
Build up the beef, build up your fight, get the interest, no problem. I just have a problem with the kill part. I don't have a problem with anything else. I don't have any problem with anything else because, hey, you know what? It creates interest. People want to see you, and that's it, that I just don't like that one word, because kids listening to that.
And I knew you'd feel that way. But let me ask you this: what do you think? What are your thoughts on Luke? People really underestimate Luke. He's taken some losses he shouldn't have because of, maybe it's his fault because of being overconfident and complacent, whatever. But people don't really, in my opinion, I wanted you to chime in on this. This is where I was getting on this. people don't really know Luke. And Sean also shared some input or some comments about the situation. Instead of just I'll slap him in the parking lot, he talks a lot of shit about Luke, saying he's a coward and he's the type of guy that would run and call the cops. And he said a bunch of stuff and of course he said he's a douche and cocky and arrogant. But and that's arguable. But that's Luke. You know, he's a confident guy. But the point is, he talked to him like he's some coward, like scared kid. And it's like, maybe he's clouding his judgment, because like, I know Luke, and let me tell you something. There's no one that's first of all, when Luke first came to AK, I could put a beating on him pretty good. But like, let me tell you something. I've taken some ass beatings from hell from up until my very last fight from Luke, when I was back at AK training fight week for Garcia, and he just destroyed me. But Luke is better than what people think. And Sean, I think, is letting this judge or cloud his judgment a little bit, and not think Luke is as dangerous as he is. Luke is a victim of himself and his mentality of how he fought. If he had fought smart and really didn't let emotions get in the way, the guy would have way less losses and be a lot more successful, and he might come back like that. And so what are your thoughts on that?
Well, before, when Luke first started with me, I was hunting him down because I thought this kid is amazing talent. Yeah. And when he first started out with me, I heard some stories about his street fights. A lot of street fights in Santa Cruz, because they all looked at him like this pretty boy skateboarder type guy. And he would get in fights with all these gang-like type guys or all these tough thug-like guys. And one time he got in a fight with a bunch of guys, and they threw him off the cliff. And they thought they killed him, but
wait a minute, you say that
he was able to hold on to the edge of the cliff.
Stop.
He climbed himself back up. He went back up and found those guys and beat the hell out of them. You know, and so realistically, you know, you can look at Luke all you want and think he's this pretty boy, this and that, but no, he's a street of street times.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, let's go. He's not going to back down from a street fight. No, not Luke.
And I'll tell you, as big as Luke is too, if Sean came up to him on the street and tried to slap him, I have a really bad feeling it's going to go really bad for Sean. Like, it's not going to go good. And I know Luke could, in my opinion, can tap Sean out really fast. Luke is a freak, and he's way bigger, and he's not in fight camp. And you fight him on the street, he's not making weight. He's not at 185. He's probably not even at 205. You're fighting a 210, 215 Luke on the street, who's got length and reach and crazy submissions and striking. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. He better not let that cloud his judgment and get overconfident in this fight, because Luke's the real deal, and he's just not proven it as much as he could have, and he still was a champion.
Well, the bottom line is a fight's a fight, and anything can happen in a fight. But the bottom line is Luke is not afraid of a street fight.
No.
You're not going to threaten him with a street fight and coming at him. It ain't going to happen. If anything, you're going to get him excited.
Yeah.
And he's going to want you more. So Sean saying that is not doing anything but motivating Luke to want to get him that much more. So actually, it's kind of working in Sean's favor if he does want to fight with Luke, because it'll make Luke want him even more, because Luke would welcome the fact that he wants to come in. Luke will be looking around. Where's he coming? I'm waiting. Where is he coming? You know, Luke will probably even tell him, I'm going to be at Ruka this time, come.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully he doesn't do that, because if it goes to that far, they should get paid for it, you know.
But, of course.
I'm just telling you that Luke is that way.
Yeah.
You know him like I know him, and he's not afraid of nobody.